Well, now, everybody, I'm your host, Lambo Drew, and you are now tuned in to another special edition of The Leverage Show. I'm excited for tonight, man. Before we bring my guest on, man, tonight, I'm telling y'all what, you want to make sure that you are sharing this video and getting this video out to each and every single person you possibly can, because this could possibly change your life tonight. My guy, Ken Demarco, is in the building, so you don't want to miss this one. Shout out to, man, all these amazing connections that we have made with so many friends who have allowed this connection tonight to happen for the benefit of you. And if you've been wanting to go ahead and level up and make sure that your financial expectations for your future are really secure, you do not want to miss this tonight. So make sure you guys are sharing and getting this video out to everybody. Before we bring him on, let's get to the chats real quick. Just say hello to a few great people who are in the chats. Shout out to LA Law. I see you in the building. Thank you. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is well. Shout out to LA Law and Ahmad doing amazing things. You guys are really killing the game. Issa is in the building. Shout out to you. Hello, Leverage Show family, man. LA Law is showing love to Issa. Good to see you, man. Love to see you. Happy to be here. Issa says, Issa showing love to LA Law, man. LA Law showing love back to Issa. Doing well. How about you and yourself? My guy, Jeremiah Crafton, is in the building. This is Julie's wonderful husband, man. Julie Crafton. Shout out to Team Crafton, man. Definitely in this building. I knew he wasn't going to miss this one because this is his guy, Ken Demarco, man. You guys, you know, from the Lambo Lounge. So we're going to make this thing happen, man, and make this thing happen right. Thank you, J-Dog. Let's make this thing work, brother. LA Law showing love to Jeremiah. Good to see you, Jeremiah. Showing love back to the Leverage Show family. Money is in the building. Shout out to you, Money. Thank you for tapping in. My cousin Errol is in the building. What's up, Leverage Show family? Shout out to you. You already know what time it is, cuz. LA Law showing love to Money and Errol, man. Jeremiah is showing love to Errol and Money. My wonderful wife is in the building. Shout out to my bride who makes all this wonderful stuff happen and makes it happen in her time. You already know what time it is. I love my wife for all the support that she does. Issa showing love to Jeremiah. Jeremiah showing love, man, as well. Errol showing love. Issa showing love. LA Law is showing love. I see y'all all in the chats getting down. Y'all excited for my guy, Ken, huh? Shout out to y'all guys for bringing this type of energy. Mighty E is in the building. Shout out to you, Mighty E. Happy Thursday to you all. Really appreciate you, man, for that, man. Jeremiah says, man, Mrs. Johnson, man, you already know. Team Realistic. I know what you're speaking on, Jared Dog. It's all good, man. Jeremiah, what's going on? LA Law showing love to Mighty E, man. And Issa showing love back to Money. Listen, we appreciate y'all in the chats. I see y'all are definitely excited about this tonight. Now, can I tell you guys something? This meeting should have been and happened way longer than what it should have been between me and Ken Demarco and me bringing Mr. Ken Demarco to this Leverage Show. But as you know, everything happens in its own time. And can I tell you guys something? Not only does it happen in its own time, just like wine, it gets better over time. That is my guy, Ken Demarco, because he's got something that's definitely going to store your taste buds up to make sure that you guys are definitely leveled up on a whole nother level. I'm excited to welcome to the show for the first time, but not the last time. He will become not just Lambo's friend, he will now become your friend. And if you want a man that's going to text you and call you and check on you, man, in the wee hours of the night or in the crack of dawn of the morning, my guy Ken Demarco is that man who can't wait to help assist you and grow your journey in your financial path. Welcome to the show the first time. My guy, Ken Demarco, to the Leverage Show. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Hey, we are well, Ken, and we are waiting, man, your wonderful presence. Thank you for accepting this invitation and us finally getting together after all this time, right?
Yeah. So for everybody, it was supposed to be about 2 weeks ago. I had the stomach bug. Lambo graciously let me come back tonight, and I appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate you for getting better. Especially, definitely, it was something between you and your wife, man. And I when it gets to the house like that, I know all so well, man. Shout out to everybody, man, in the chat. I see you, Deatrice. I see you, Jay Williams, Patricia Humphreys. I see y'all. Y'all are amazing. But you bounce back. My guy Ken Haney's in the building. Shout out to Ken. I know Ken's going to be reaching out, so I'm excited about this partnership, man. But you're feeling better. You're looking better, looking like a model, man. Everybody's welcoming you in, as you see in the chats, man. J-Dog's welcoming you in, man. Everybody's just in here showing love to you, and we love to see that, man.
I love it. I love this. This is fabulous. So just real quick, everybody. So I have never, everybody always says that I am full of energy. I'm like a ball of just nonstop. I have never met anybody in my whole life who has more energy than me than this guy right here, okay? He is absolutely 10 times more energetic than I am, and I love it. He can outshine me no matter where we are, and it's great. I love it. So thank you, Lambo.
Man, I appreciate you, man. But listen, I tell you what, they always say, man, iron sharpens iron. So when you get two irons together, it's getting ready to be a lot of sharpness going on. So we want the people, man, to know more about Ken and exactly how tonight you'll be able to help change their lives to a whole nother direction, Ken.
So my big thing that I like to preach is we shouldn't have to worry about our finances depending on how the presidential election is going to go, or, if some billionaire sold off half their shares, something like whatever. We shouldn't have to worry about somebody who is never going to be in our financial situation, how they're going to affect our financial situation. So what I am a licensed financial professional. I take basically 401ks, IRAs, any large sum of money, and I put that into a guaranteed fund. Okay. So you're going to guarantee that you make a minimum amount every single year on your return, and it's going to compound. And I'm sure most of you understand how compounding works, and it's a beautiful thing. So you're never going to have to worry about outliving your funds. So a lot of people in retirement, if their money's in the stock market and it's in their 401k, and they just take out as they get older from their 401k, and the market's still going up and down, they can have a bad year, and they're like, oh my God, they wake up one morning and 18% of their funds are gone. And that's not a way to have to worry about living. So what my product does is it protects you from that. It puts safeguards in place. It's going to give you the guaranteed return, like I said, but it's also going to give you an index of the market. So say the market has a great year, okay, and we're going to put you in the S&P, and the S&P does 20%. Hey, Julie, what's up, Julie? So say the S&P does 20%, okay, we're going to give you a percentage of that. We're going to give you, 11, 12, 13% of that, and that money's now going to be yours, and you can never lose that money ever. So say the following year we're in the S&P again for you, and we can choose an index for you every year. You and I can decide, or I usually decide for myself because that's my job and for my clients. And say the S&P goes down, okay? You never have to worry about your money going down. Your money's going to stay right where it was at the beginning of the year. So you're never, ever going to lose $1 of your retirement ever again. So this product, just so you know, I like to tell everybody, and like Lambo said, I am one of those people. I love my clients and I love what I do. And the reason why I love what I do is because nobody who is in my product doesn't understand it fully. So if you don't understand the product, I'm not going to sell you. Okay. So it's a fixed indexed annuity. Okay. I want to nip this in the butt now. Annuities get a bad rap because there are financial advisors at these big banks selling these variable annuities that can make a lot of money. They can make 30, 40% in a year. It's not really that likely, but they pitch a big number. Okay. What they don't tell you is there's a lot of fees. And what they don't tell you also is that when that market collapses and when the market goes down, you're going to get all those losses. Okay. And it takes, on average, the last recession we had, it takes an average of 6 to 7 years to just recuperate the money that you lost. So say you're at 100 grand, we hit a recession. Okay. It's going to take another 6 to 7 years just to get back up to that $100,000. Okay. With my product, it's recession proof. So say, the market's very cyclical. Okay. And I'm going to throw a lot of stats and numbers at you, which I don't like to do. I like to keep it simple, but since the market is cyclical, that means it's predictable. Okay. It's going to go up and down every 4, 5, 6 years, and it's usually around the presidential election, unfortunately. Okay, so I would know, this is what I'm doing now, is I'm putting everybody in the safer index. So they're going to lock in their 5, 6%, and they don't have to worry about it. Doesn't matter who gets in, doesn't matter who destroys what, we're good to go. There's another COVID, God forbid, whatever, we're still good to go. You're not going to lose anything. You're not going to have to worry about anything. Okay. My primary thing that I focus on is a lot of people, I know I'm getting old. By the time they're 40, most people have been in and out of 3 to 4 jobs. It's crazy. Those 3 to 4 jobs usually have a 401k attached to them. Most companies do not roll those 401ks into their current position. Okay. So what I do is I help find those old 401ks. There's a website we use. And then I can take all the 401ks. So say you have 3 or 4, we combine them all into one big one. And then that's how we start the product. Okay. Now you don't just need a 401k. Like I said, you can have an IRA. You can also have a large sum of money. So some people, like I owned a restaurant for years, so it's a cash business. Okay. So you can start, you just write a check to the company and you start with that. There's also tax advantages to that because it's already taxed money. So it's non-qualified. So you're not going to pay any taxes in the long run when taking it out. There's a whole tax code thing that is actually very beneficial to put your 401k into this product. We can get into that much later. But so Lambo, can I pull you back in, Lambo?
Ken, what you mean you can't? You don't think you can't pull me back in? You know you can always pull me back in.
I thought you just gave the show to me. I thought it was your
No. I give the show to you because I'm telling you what, you are amazing at doing what you do best.
I mean, I like talking. I can talk forever. So I wanted to ask you. So I like to ask, this is what I like to do. I like to ask somebody who I don't have as a client, and I'm not trying to pitch you, but I want you to, so you just heard me speak now.
Yes.
I want you to ask me a question that you might not understand about what I just explained.
Okay, so you're saying that you can put people into something that doesn't lose, which I like. That's amazing. That most of the things that I've ever been into, they're always taking a loss, especially even in the long run. 401ks, 403bs, different IRA plans, and they're always like literally going down and literally losing my money. How is that the secret sauce for you, Ken?
So I am going to quote something that I invented with Julie on the phone, Julie Crafton.
Shout out to Julie.
Yeah, man. So there are 3 things in life that are guaranteed.
Okay.
Death, taxes, and my product.
Yeah.
So guaranteed, you will not lose $1. And I can honestly say that, that word guaranteed is not something to joke about because a lot of people remember Tommy Boy. Remember the movie Tommy Boy?
Oh, yeah. Come on now. It's classic.
So what happens when you put a guarantee on a box? You remember that line from the movie?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So to actually be able to guarantee something, I can do that with this product. I can show numbers. I can show you how the product works to show you why there is a guarantee. Okay? So you will never, the way it's structured, okay? It's structured for you to win. There are indexes that we could put you in that would give you more risk, which if you were 25 and 30 years old, I would say, yeah, let's do them. And there's a charge. There's like a 1% fee on that every year. So if the market does have a down year, you're going to lose 1%, whatever. But if it has an up year, you're going to, it's like anteing. It's like doubling your bet in blackjack. It's like you're taking the extra risk to make more money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that. If somebody's like 45 or older, like I usually do, we don't do that product. We don't do that index. We do the safe route. We do the guaranteed 6 to 11% a year. That's it. We wrap it up. We call it a day. We're done. Okay. You're always going to make money. Where else can you get that amount of money every year? Unless you're a day. And this is something else too. Like, and there's nothing wrong with anybody who's very smart and very well versed in the stock market. I'm not your guy. If you're making 11 to 15% a year because you're day trading, bravo to you, sir.
Yeah.
Or ma'am, like I go for it. I can't do that. But what my product can do is guarantee that you don't have to sit by and watch CNN and the ticker tape going across the screen all night. You don't need to worry about that. This is something that I can personally show you how it works, which is what I want to do. So what else do we have?
Oh man, listen, you get the Lambo bell for that. That's it. You got to get the Lambo bell. I
feel like I'm on Mad Money.
Man, you are on Mad Money. You on Lambo money now, right? So I think that we get to this place where we get these guarantees, right? And we're just like, oh my gosh, is this really something that's going to be here in the next year or the next 5 years, the next 10 years? Is it something when you say guarantee, you talk about those 3 guarantees, and it's the truth. It's
Yep.
death, taxes, and definitely you. But guess what? You being able to offer this allows people to expand their mindset and being able to say, hey, I want to take the long road like that because I have money that I can park into things like that that actually grow over time. Let the people know about Ken, about the risk tolerance that it actually takes to be able to say, hey, we're going to really trust what Ken is saying and go against our traditional mindset that a lot of us have been in for so many years.
So yeah, that's actually a great example. And I think I've had this conversation with Julie, but if not, I told you behind the scenes before we started, my main thing is that I do not want to sell you a product.
Yeah.
My product, if it's not going to work for you. I've had a client, I'm not going to say their name. He wanted to get his mother into my product. And after we had the Zoom with her, just with her age and the amount and the risk factor and when she needed the money, it wasn't for her. And I straight up said, I'm like, you know what, dude, I want to help, but I'm not going to be that guy who just takes your money to make a commission and your mom's screwed if she needs it. I don't do that. I will gladly turn you away because I would rather keep him as a friend and a client than lose him because I'm being greedy. There's no reason for any of this.
Yeah.
Okay. So the risk tolerance is very minimal because I make sure, and I have a team of professionals, even if I'm not sure, I have a team above me that I always go to just like, hey, is this the right product? So like depending on ages, and if I say something you don't understand, just ask me, please. Depending on the person's age, I have like a 7-year, a 10-year, or a 14-year product. Yeah. And that just means how long their money is held up. So I wouldn't, like, if you're 80 years old, I'm not going to put you in a 14-year product. Like, I'm just not going to do it. But a lot of people do that who are in my profession, Lambo, because it pays more.
Yeah.
And it's the most asinine thing. And it aggravates me. And I am not that person. Like, I would rather talk to you for 3 hours on the phone, explaining why this product is no good for you, and have you send me a referral because I was so honest, than take an hour of your time, take your money, and it's a bad decision. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that we have been around, Ken, those sharks that do that. They're just in it for the paycheck, in it for the money. They're not in it for the well-being. But you're literally giving us a different approach. That's what the approach that the people out here want to see and want to hear. They want to be partnered with that.
Well, it's funny. And that's why, I got into this industry. It's 5-6 years now. I've been doing this. What is it? 2024? I don't even know. I used to own a restaurant.
And let's talk about that, your restaurant experience and what drove you to being able to get into this.
Yeah. So we were talking about that before we started. So I was 5 years old. My parents bought a restaurant, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I worked there my whole life. I don't even know. How old am I? 38. At like 29 years old, I literally took it over.
Yeah.
I ran it. It was cash business. It's fabulous. It was great money, a lot of hard work, crappy hours, 3 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. It's trash. Yeah. So, I moved down here. Hooked up with a financial advisor to help me with my funds and kind of how to invest. And I gave him some money.
Yeah.
And unlike me, wasn't fully open to what exactly the process was. And I lost money. Didn't lose it all, but I lost money.
Wow.
Basically gave him a phone call and he's like, that's how it works.
Well, that's how what works. Financial planning? That's how financial planning works.
So, me being aggravated and being me, and I'm loud and I get fun. So I'm like, let me figure out how I can do this. There has to be a certificate, a license, a course I can take. I took my course. I passed my test. I got my license. I'm like, let me start. So I'm all self-taught, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of like help me books, a lot of, honestly, podcasts, man.
Really?
Like, there's a lot of great knowledge out there. And it's stupid that podcasts aren't more like publicly like promoted to help you educate yourself.
Yeah, well, they're getting that way now, and they're paying even top dollar with a lot of these podcasts now.
I feel like people think of podcast, and I love the man, but people think of podcast and they think of Joe Rogan. And he's great. And he's great if you got a 2-hour drive. He's fabulous. But I mean, are you going to learn something? No. But you're going to entertain yourself. But why not put on a podcast about, Jesus or finances or love or marriage help, like whatever. There's something out there for everyone. And I've learned more from a podcast than I say I did in my 4 years of college. Like, So it is what it is. But so that's why I got it. I got my license and I started to, building up my book, and my personality helps. Meeting people like you helps. I think you're my third podcast I've done, and I love it. And I like being in front of the camera. I think I'm not better looking than you, but
man, come on, man. My wife would say something.
Listen,
like, hey,
tell them. Tell them how long did it take me to find the right lighting to even.
Yeah.
I kept walking around. I couldn't find the right lighting. But my wife's probably laughing upstairs. She can hear me, I'm sure. So I just
shout out to the wives, man, for making it all happen.
You gotta love the women. They make us who we are. I follow a guy, man, and I gave you his Facebook. He's tremendous. He has a podcast called The Lion's Den.
Okay, wow.
And literally he tells everybody and I love him. I met him, I knew him. He used to be a customer of mine at the restaurant.
Okay.
He grew an SEO company where they promote your companies up the Google chain. So he told me, he's like, the number one thing, he goes, if I could go back and do something again, he goes, the first two things I would do is I would marry my wife earlier because she is the one reason why I made it. And then he goes, number two is I would fire all my friends.
Wow.
He goes, I hired my friends and all they did was make it not fun because it was a party every day and there was no work being done.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, that hit me because when I was younger, I wanted to do everything with my friends and work with them. And I'm like, let's start a business together. Well, that's probably the worst thing I ever could have did. You know what I mean? So, but I love that because looking back now, and he's 40, but looking back now, it's like, yeah, he's spot on, man. But I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did this 10 years ago too.
Well, you know what? I hate to say this, right? Sometimes, man, I tell people you are destined to be in the time zone that you're in for the people that you're designed to affect. And if you're divinely appointed to affect those people, then guess what? You still showed up at your divine time.
I say that. I've been divorced for 3 years. And when I met my wife now, I said that we met at the legit perfect time, man. And I need her more than she has any idea. And I tell her that, like, they don't get it, man. You find the right person, that's it, dude. It's over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't want to go out no more. I don't want to drink no more. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to stay home with her.
Hey, listen, I tell you, I've been married now. Next year will be 20 years for me.
What? You ain't even that old, man.
20 years. I lie not to you, man.
Wow.
20 years, man. I know. I got to definitely do that. I don't know how she put up with me, man. I thought she would have been off me a long time ago. Love it. It just, when I hear stories like this, Ken, it makes my life a whole lot better because people see that you're relatable, man. And we love that about you, Ken.
Well, I love that. And so I want to chime in because I see something. Patricia,
shout out to Patricia. She's amazing.
I was literally going to I wanted to talk. So Patricia, unless you're 95 years old, which you're not, this is a great product for you. This is exactly, I'm assuming Patricia is how old? Do you know, Lambo?
So Patricia, actually, shout out to my guy, Ryan from Degenerate Passive Income. She's actually in one of another passive income play that we're in with Bruno X. So I don't know offhand what Patricia is, but I would guess 50, maybe 60. I'm guessing 50, 60.
She's perfect. So I do the same product for younger people, but I aggressively pursue bigger returns. Like I said, it's a lot, but there's other things I do with them. So the 50 to 65 and up bracket is exactly what this product is for.
Wow.
So do not sell yourself short. It's for every age group. And the other thing I wanted to do before I forget, I wanted to say this, is you said it, is the reason why people, she's 70.
I'm so sorry, Patricia. I was being generous. I know Ryan was talking on there, and I knew it was 50, 60, but I didn't want to go all the way up to 70.
You're fine, Patricia. You're good to go. I can still help you. There's never anybody who is too old for my product unless you're 90. Legit, they have legit restrictions. I can't sell to people who are 90 or older. So just throwing that out there. So you're fine, Patricia. I would listen if you want to chat, even if you just want to ask me questions, I'm for it. And Lambo, what do you want to do at the end? How do you want to share my number?
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll put it on. We'll put it on the end. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll make sure everybody get a chance to get a hold of you, Ken.
Okay, so the big thing that I wanted to stress is I am the first one to tell you to not put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
That basket being my basket. Do not do that. I would tell you, like, say you have $1 million in your 401k. I will be the first one to tell you that I don't want all of it. Unless that is the best option.
Yeah.
If you got $1 million in a 401k or even $100,000 in a 401k and you got like another 400,000 doing something else over here, I'm gonna be like, well, let's talk about this first. What are your plans with that? And do you need this brick that you want to give me? Because I tell people, I tell Julie, real estate, crypto, mutual funds. There's some great other products out there, and I don't have the prowess to sell them. I do know a little bit about crypto, not a lot, but I can help somebody. But I will be the first one to say diversify. Yeah. My product is not the end all be all. Yeah. Go to the bank and ask them what their CD rates are. Yeah. Maybe you want to just put some money in there and you make your 6% for the year on $100,000, or it's probably 4.5% now for most states. Yeah. And say you want to make that 4.5%, and at the end of the year, you want to take that money, go on vacation. Yeah. Boom, do it. Fabulous. There's so many. That's why I asked, what do you want to do with your money? What do you want your retirement to look like? What do you want your money to do for you? Do you want to sit on it and have it make you money and you don't need it for 10 years, 20 years, even 5 years? Okay, great. Let me help you. Let's talk it out.
Yeah. And that's amazing. You shout out to, we have a mutual buddy, man. Shout out to Adam, man, just killing it, man. And you literally had Adam shared something where you were able to really help change Adam's life, man, on an investment that he was able to cash right then and there and take advantage of, man.
Oh yeah, so that's what I do, and he's actually he's the client I was referring to for his mother. Yeah, where I actually turned his mom away because it wasn't going to be beneficial for her. Yeah, and and I talk to Adam all the time, and that's my point. Is I didn't know Adam before he was my client.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I did it.
Wow!
And I literally talk to him once or twice a week.
Yeah,
that's my point. Is I'm not going to go away unless you want me to. Yeah, if I get you as a client, I will. I'm going to find out mutual interest of you. I send birthday cards. I do Christmas cards. God forbid something happens, I'll send you a bottle of wine. Just, whatever. And this is something huge, Lambo. And this is good advice for anybody on here, no matter what you do. 70 is the new 50.
There's a lot of time for you to make money with Ken. It makes sense. My mom is 80, and Ken put numbers together for her that made sense.
Well, now that Julie, I'm not putting that out there, but since Julie put that out there, yes, I'm working with her to put something together for her mother. Her mother is 80 years young, apparently in the best shape of her life. She's like living the dream.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all right, let's do this.
That's toots. I told you.
So I love this. We should do this often. This is great. I love this. My wife's upstairs like, shut up. I'm tired of your voice.
Hey, so you're having fun out here on the Lambo Show.
No, I forget what I was going to say. Damn it, Julie. Whatever, we'll get back to it. No, so here's something I wanted to bring up. This is a great point, and it's not so much. Oh, this is I got it back. This is for everybody, no matter what you do. I know Julie is in the referral business. Lambo, you are too. Whatever everybody else does, depending on what your career is, I don't turn anybody away. I have a minimum limit that I can do, and I have an age limit. So I don't really have an amount maximum that I can't touch, but I don't turn anybody away no matter how small. And here's why. So the two smallest products, the two smallest clients I've ever gotten based on the lump sum, Okay. It was only $2,000. It's the smallest I can do.
Wow.
Those 2 clients gave me the biggest referrals I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do, because it's not about just helping the people with money so I make money.
Yeah.
Because even those people, I'm going to help them the same way I treat the people that I don't make really any money on, because it's not about that.
Yeah.
Because those people have a mouth and a network that I don't know, and they can reach out to them for me.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, man. That's what this is.
Yeah.
I don't know any. I know 2 people on here.
Yeah. You know Julie and Jeremiah, right?
And Jeremiah, that's it.
J-Dog and J50.
That's what I'm saying.
I call them. J-Dog and J50.
And Adam said he'd be on too, but I don't see him, so I'm going to yell at him later.
Adam is he's laid back. Adam usually watches behind scenes. Like, trust me, he used to get on all the time, but I know he be rolling. He works a lot, man, and he'll catch Lambo on the fly, so he's good.
No, I got that. So yeah, no, I mean, listen, and the major thing, and this is a major sales pitch for most people, is so the product is insurance based. So a big thing is, Lambo, say you had a 401k, all right, and to get like gruesome here is, say you passed away and tomorrow, and your wife's your beneficiary, okay, God forbid. Your wife's going to have to battle probate, unless you have an estate set up or a trust set up. Your wife's going to have to battle and fight to get that money from your 401k.
All day long.
Taxes are going to be stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if that 401k you had was in my product, your wife's going to be the beneficiary like a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
And she's going to get taxed one time on it. That's it. It's going to be easy.
It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer. And that's what I tell people. It's not about what it can do for you, for your retirement. It's about what it can do for your loved ones if you don't use it all or if you don't need it all. Yeah. I have some people who bought this annuity with me, and they don't even want the money for their retirement. They used it as a death benefit for their kids and their grandkids when they get older.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if they need it, it's there.
Oh, well, and let's talk about that. There is, man, we got some stuff to talk about with this kid. There is that when a person passes away, what is there? It's a certain product where they can pass away, but it keeps on maturing every single year. It's almost like a percentage divider for the actual child or the beneficiary behind that. But they keep earning money on it. What is that?
That's usually somebody, they have a life insurance policy and they put it in an estate. So are you talking about like if they pass it on to like their kids and their kids aren't 18 yet?
Exactly. And it still earns money every single year.
Yeah. So you can. So I do. Oh yeah, it's Julie. We're doing this with Julie. We were talking about getting an irrevocable trust.
Yeah, that's
it. Especially if you have kids who are under the age of 18, because it's going to be a battle now. Because if, say, my kids are 10 and 8, and I have life insurance on myself, a good amount, and if I were to pass away, my kids are my beneficiary, but they're not 18. Yeah. So where's that money going to go? Well, that money's going to go to probate through the state. And that's a long time for the state to have my money for these kids to get this money in 10 years. So no, you got to set up a trust. You got to set up an irrevocable trust so that money goes into the trust. So that's great. And guess what? When it's in that trust, not only is it going to be the death benefit, but it's going to keep building.
Yep.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's one of the major things I do. So, what I do, I sell life insurance. I sell health, life, everything. IULs are fabulous, by the way. That's a great way to make money.
We want to talk about that because I wanted to really get into IULs because of that play has swept the internet. And shout out to my friend Marvin Mitchell and all the rest of them. People have made a lot of money. Talk to people about what an IUL is and how it can actually really help them, especially, man, people like Patricia. Shout out to you, Patricia. I think this IUL can help you out, right, kid?
Well, so listen, so an IUL it stands for Indexed Universal Life. So indexed is, I've said that word tonight. Indexed meaning indexed in the market.
Yep.
Okay. So universal basically means throughout the rest of your life, and life is life. So it's indexed universal life. So to button it up, it's instead of having a lump sum payment like my annuity, now you're going to break it down into installments. So you're basically paying a monthly premium, which is going to accumulate cash value because that monthly premium is being put into the market now, just like your annuity is. It's the same thing. It's guaranteed. It's not going to go down, but it's going to create a little bit of cash value for you. Now, if you're older, if you're even 45 and up, it's harder to accumulate a good amount of cash value because it usually takes about 10 to 15 years. The problem with the IULs is they are very, very poorly illustrated and very, very poorly advertised. Okay? Because people think you start one, you have money. No. You start one, you got to be patient. So my kids are 10 and 8, okay? Perfect example. When both of them were 5, my daughter was 5, I opened up an IUL for her, okay? It's $150 a month. That $150 a month, by the time she is 18, is going to have a cash value of about $35,000 to $40,000. That's low. It could be higher than that, okay? She can borrow that money tax-free for herself and use it to purchase a home, purchase a car. I'm going to tell her not to do that, but she could. She could also use it for a wedding, which I'm going to tell her not to do that either. She's too young for that nonsense. But that's my point. The product is there for you to build cash value. And the best part about it is it's basically starting a whole life policy, which a lot of people should get. So if she ever, at 50, she's still paying the $150 a month, as opposed to now at 50 getting a life insurance for the first time. And because of your age and your health, the premiums are going to be out of this world. So now at 50, she's been paying 150 months since she was 5. Obviously, I'm doing it till she's like 25, but that's besides the point. She's going to have, I don't even know what the number was by the time she's 50, but close to $500,000 that she could borrow from tax-free. And the best part about it is when you borrow from it, and this is what's one of the fun things about the IUL. So say you have $100,000 in cash value, you borrow $10,000 from that. Okay. Your account is still going to make the interest off of that $100,000, but you're going to have a loan out. That loan is the $10,000 you took out. Usually in most cases, the interest you make is going to be more than the loan interest. So you shouldn't really pay the loan back unless you absolutely want to or have to, depending if you're not making the interest. And then if you never pay the loan back and you pass away and you've had the loan out for 20, 30 years, it's just the death benefit now goes to your beneficiary minus the loan amount plus interest. So it's literally giving yourself, free cash advances based on you investing at a younger age. So it's a great product. Like I said, it's life insurance, and every life insurance does have its purposes. Everybody online is always bashing something or another. And like even term life has a purpose. It's not great to build wealth. There is no cash value in a term policy. But it's great because, say you're 30 years old and you had a kid for the first time and you don't have insurance through work and you just want to get something, God forbid, till the kid's 18 years old, you get a 20-year term policy for $200,000. It covers the mortgage. So you pass away, your wife can pay the house off. That's it. There's always something. That's why I sit down with the client. I'm not just going to say, "Oh, you got $400,000, sweet, let's put it in the annuity." No. What are we doing? What do your finances look like? What else are you investing in? There's always something. There's more to the story than just what's in front of you. You got to dive into it. So yeah. So I mean, listen, that's great. The IUL is a great product. I started one for somebody whose kid was 11. And I said, it's never too late to start it. I mean, I wish my parents would have did that when I was a kid. Damn.
Yeah. And I learned it from, shout out to Ronnie Lambert, man. I learned it from him. He was like, Lambo, yeah, you want to take a look at this. Now, talk about, there's a multiplier can be attached to the IUL too, right?
Yeah, so I brought up like rider charges for the annuity. It's the same thing. So it's a rider charge. It depends what company, what carrier you go through, but it could be like 1% to 2% of the value of the policy. Okay. It's basically you just playing roulette. You're gonna bet that the market does better this year, and you're gonna get 2x that. So say the market does 11%, well, boom, you're gonna 2x it, but you're paying for it. So it's still gonna take your 3% out, but you just made freaking 22%. So who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, but also now, so listen, so you're 2xing it, but say the market only makes 1%, and you're 2xing that, you're only making 2%, but they're taking out 3.5. You lost 1.5%.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So there is a risk involved, and you can change those. That's not for the lifetime of the policy. You can change that in and out whenever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See. Julie says individual plans and strategies. Shout out to you for that. Thank you, Julie. She's always on it. Patricia says, yes, that's something I believe my son was talking about. I'm good with my insurance. Everyone thinks I'm 45.
Well, props to you, Patricia, because at 70 years old, I don't know if I'd be on the internet. I'm just telling you. I'd be smoking a cigar in a chair somewhere. Like, I'm good.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Patricia. She's on everything, and every time I always see her, she's always showing love. Hey, Lambo, how you doing? And it's amazing. Her energy is amazing. 70. Hey, I got people, man, who are in my family in their 30s and 40s can't get on the internet. So, shout out to you doing your thing, Patricia. So
I love that. So, go ahead.
No. So she says, I believe my son was talking about that. Patricia, I would love to know was it the IUL part that he's talking about, or was it term? One of the things that Ken was actually speaking on.
So I want to say, does anybody in the chat want to field any questions? Because I know Lambo's doing an awesome job, and I love the Q&A. But I'm sure somebody has something out there, and if not, it's fine either way. But I could talk for hours, and I do this too, and I think I told Julie this too. Is I like to keep this. You ever see those like Cooking for Dummies books?
Yeah.
I like to keep it simple, stupid, because the more I tell you, the more confusing it gets.
Yeah.
I can talk for hours about this stuff, and it's a lot.
So let's talk about there is a such thing that I tell people, man, if you can't have anything, at least get burial insurance, right? Where the very bare minimum. Let's talk about that and what kind of insurance plan costs. And is there anything that actually for insurance plans that people may need to take physicals minus the ones that you don't need to take a physical?
Yeah. So, I mean, taking a physical for an insurance plan, it's usually if it's over like $500,000.
Okay.
And depending on your age, so they do full extensive background checks. So I just got a new policy on myself, and they're like, "Oh, why do you go to the chiropractor?" I'm like, "Because I'm old." Like, that's why. I played football for freaking 15 years of my life. That's why. Leave me alone. Look, they dive deep into everything, man. So but like they came and they took blood work for me. They come right to the house. It's fabulous, but it's usually over a certain amount of money. And to answer your question for so I don't really do the final expense. That's like that's like a $15,000 plan. To cover burial insurance and stuff. Like I'll sell it, but I don't preach it. I do suggest, if you're thinking about it, is to, if you want to get buried, is to buy the plot when you're younger. Because that price is always going to go up. Like you look at buying a burial plot in 1950 versus 2024. I don't even want to know what the difference is. You can guess what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like buy it now when you're 25 or 30 instead of when you're 60. You know what I mean? Like you got to think it's like buying a piece of land. Like how much does a house cost now versus 1950?
Massive difference.
That's what I'm saying. So you think about it in that terms. But like even a final expense policy, you could pay $50-$60 a month, and they know they're taking a huge risk, because if you're buying final expense and you're 70 and you live for 5 years, they're not even making what you're paying in premiums to pay the policy out. But obviously they're investing heavily, but still, like that's why final expense is last resort for somebody who didn't plan and didn't prepare, unfortunately. But there are different scenarios and different people for every occasion, and you can't predict what somebody went through. You don't know. Insurance, I really wasn't paying too much attention because I wasn't interested. Okay.
But I wasn't interested.
I love her. She's so honest.
I love it.
We need to get her on the show with us.
She's amazing, man. Every time I go on my guide to generate passive income, she does it. Amazing, man. Is there a suggested age and plan for 30, 50, 70 that is good to get started with? Because the start stops for some people.
What's that last sentence mean?
Because the start stops for some people.
The stats stop some people?
Gotta be stats. I want to think it's stats. One of the things she was typing real fast.
Julie, what do you mean, Julie? Is there a suggested age? Don't make me call you. I'll put you on the show right now.
Yeah. Oh, she will come on there. I'll put this link on there. She will pop on there.
Now, you want to talk about somebody who looks better on camera than me? She looks good on camera.
Julie, first of all, this is what Julie does. She does this every day and stuff like that, man. So she's always talking to people every day, man, on that camera. The starts, stops some people.
I don't know. I'm not getting it. Are you
Julie, I'm getting ready to put this link out here in the chat, doggone it. We getting ready to go ahead. We're going to put this link out here, Julie. And you come ask this question to the show, doggone it. And any one of y'all, man, y'all want to get out here, man, y'all can come on ahead and ask the question to the show. Y'all already know what time it is. I just to put it out there in the chats. So if you want to go ahead and mic up, cam up, I would love to talk with y'all. Again, just click on that link that I just put right here in the chats. StreamYard link. It will go behind closed doors. You sign right on
This
in.
is awesome, man. I've never done this
backstage. Yeah, and then you guys can come on ahead and ask your questions. Nah, Julie, I don't want to talk. We're not getting ready to answer no questions. I'm bringing the camera on there, so go ahead, cam up.
Julie, even if you're not done up, if you don't want to put your face on, we can just have audio.
She's Julie's camera ready at 11, 12 o'clock at night. I done been with her and Jeremiah. I talk with her and Jeremiah every day, man. 12 o'clock at night, she's camera ready. I'm like, golly, Julie, do you sleep?
Let me, in case she doesn't come on. So
she's gonna come on. Just give her
to briefly kind of answer her question.
Yeah,
I believe she's asking me if it's too late to start an IUL or a cash value policy at any age. Okay, so 30, 50, 70. So to answer that question, no, you can start. Okay, now, are you going to see the same results putting $150 in at 30 compared to me putting $150 in my daughter when she's 5? No, you're not. It's going to take you 30 years to even maybe borrow $3,000. Okay, yeah. But that money's still going to be in that account. It's just not going to be cash value accumulated.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and mind you, when an IUL gets started, it has a base death benefit. So you're not just throwing money into something hoping it makes money. So even at $150 a month, it has a base death benefit of $150,000. So right off the bat, God forbid, geez, something happens to my kid, there was a death benefit attached to that. I'm not just throwing $150 at an investment product. It's an insurance-based product designed to build cash value for you. So yes, even at 30, you're throwing $150 at it. It's not going to accumulate cash value right away, but there's going to be a death benefit attached. So it's basically you have a life insurance policy that will eventually start accumulating cash value for you.
Okay. I hope that. Let's see what is it the beginning that stops people from taking action? Shout out to Ken Haney, man.
I mean, it is the beginning that starts people from taking action because, yeah, that's a great point. And this is what I was telling earlier when we first talked about the IULs is they are very badly advertised. People see IULs and all they talk about and preach is cash value.
Yeah.
Cash value. Yeah. It takes 10 years to build cash value. They're not just going to give you money to borrow tax-free overnight. You got to be patient. Like that's the number one thing in life that you cannot learn unless you're good at sitting still and it takes years to learn patience. My kid is 8 years old. He's going to be 8 next week. This kid he has no patience.
Yeah.
I am 38. I ain't got no patience for my kids, but I got patience for other things. It's totally different, but you got to learn that. It takes a long time to learn patience. And people don't, that's why I hate, you go on Instagram and you watch these reels on Facebook and the IUL people come on and I'm scrolling. They're so badly, there's 2 people I follow that know what they're talking about. And I can share them if you want, whatever we want to do at the end, I can share them with you, but there's a wealth of knowledge. I follow this lady on YouTube. She's called the Wealth Lady. She will break down every insurance policy. She actually taught me a lot of my nonsense, man.
Yeah.
Like she will break down every single thing. She'll break down the annuity, the IUL, the term life. She breaks it down and like structure. And like that's a lot of people need that. And that's what I'm here for. And I will do that with you too. And I didn't want to, I said you got to keep it simple, stupid, but hey,
I told you, Wade 50 and J-Dog was coming on here. I told you that, kid, man. I told you. I said they stay ready. I don't want to.
Well, I had to run from the other side of the house because I was in the kitchen, Lambo. You know dang well it's in the kitchen.
I know how you get down. I'm just saying.
What are you making?
I have to make him some popcorn. He loves popcorn.
Lambo throws out that bat signal. We got to go.
I told you. You know what time it is. Shout out to J-Dog and J50.
Do you do the popping? Do you do the popping kernels on the stovetop too?
Yes.
Yes.
Big bowl.
Yes. Love it.
Oh, welcome, Jeremiah and Julie, man. We truly appreciate Team Crafting, man. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all over, man, to my guy, Ken. Y'all go ask y'all questions.
I talk to them all the time. No, go ahead. This is good because I like other people's questions.
Well, I guess so. We have 4 children between the two of us, and so we were just thinking it's always trying to encourage them to do something now, and so that's why when they hear it from me versus hearing it from you, that's a whole nother story. So no matter what age they are, so like the oldest is 28, and it goes all the way down to 21, and sometimes they're like, "Oh, I'll do that when I'm older." So is there like they have to get started because a lot of times people don't start because they just say, "I'll do it later. I'll do it later."
Right.
And so I was just trying to say, no matter what age, and we were talking about Patricia earlier or my mother or things like that, there's always something to do. And if you don't do it, what the result's going to be.
Can they get started without breaking the bank?
Right. Right.
Oh, yeah. So no, that's and that is us as humans are the biggest procrastinators here. We love to put things off, and guess what? And then the second we do that, 10 other things happen.
Yeah.
So yes, no. So this is actually good. It's a great point. So one of my other clients I opened up an IUL for, they have, I believe it's a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Yep.
Okay. And I tiered it. So because she's starting the 14-year-old at the same time as the 10-year-old, obviously they're going to have to play 4 years of catch up. So what we did was we actually figured it out because that's what I can do with my program and the numbers is how much she could pay for the 14-year-old, which is going to be more than the 10-year-old, so that by the time they're 21, they're equal. Because she started. Now, mind you, they're both still very young. Now, if we're doing that for a 30-year-old and a 50-year-old, that's going to be a world of hurt.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have, they literally, it's a life insurance policy. They dig into your file. They're going to see if you ever had blood work done. God forbid you had diabetes or high blood pressure. One time, it's going to pop up. It's going to raise your rate.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can always throw more in every single month. So I tell people this too, and it's the same with the annuity. So, you have the initial investment. So say your boss gives you a raise. He gives you a $30,000 raise. You want to throw half in the annuity. Boom. It's going to build more money, build more value. Same thing with the IUL. You're making $300 a month payments. You got a little extra cash. You want to throw another 10 grand at it for the year. You throw it in there. It's just going to help build up the cash value for you quicker.
Right.
That's the number one thing with this product is patience.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that you did that because as parents, right, we need to make sure that they end up sort of as equal as we can because we love them equally. And so that was amazing that you did the math to be able to do that. And I think it's phenomenal. It doesn't matter what age.
Yep.
We have 2 grandchildren. So trying to do something like that for them. The kids are a little older now, so they're all on their own, but we can do something for the grandchildren.
Well, I love it too. And my son is 8 years old, and I swear he's smart as a tick, that kid. So they both know they have the IULs. And he asked me to log into his, and then he's like, show me sisters. He calls her sister.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is mine less? I'm like, because you're 8. She's 10. I'm like, relax, chief. Like, but that's the point is like, by the time he is 10, it would be whatever hers is right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And he doesn't understand that because to him, he just sees that she's getting more. But I'm like, dude, relax. You're not going to touch this for another at least 20 years anyway.
But involving them in it gets them thinking about it. And so that's,
well, you have no idea because I'm sure the grandkids that you have, and even, damn, I still do it too. Like, instead of him wanting to go to Five Below and buy nonsense he's going to throw away, he's like, can we save this and put it in my account?
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, buddy, that's my boy.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, but that's listen, I preach this too. They do not teach this stuff at school.
Yeah.
And they should. And it's ridiculous. And it's because they want you to be poor.
Yeah.
They want you to grow up struggling until you figure this out, or you find somebody like me and Lambo and you on a podcast, and like that's it.
Well, that's become the better university anyways, because money spent. I mean, we both have degrees, but that doesn't make us any better or worse than anybody else. In fact, I feel the best college or education that you could possibly get is honestly, it's real life, but it's expanding your mind and what's out there and not just listening to the same things day after day after day. You've got to listen to something other.
I agree. Amen to that. That's the truth. Yep. I wish, I mean, I have a 4-year degree, and I'm not even using what I went to school for.
Yep.
Same. Well, he does, because he does accounting. So he hates it, but he does it.
Yep.
I mean, but I feel like, I mean, the whole wave of, everybody wants their student loans paid off. I feel like it's because nobody's using their degree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because you can't. And then everybody wants experience when you get out of college, but you don't have it because you just went to college for 4 years to get the degree to get the job in the first place. Yeah. It's just the whole system's rigged not against us.
So is there like a percentage breakdown that makes sense? So you're talking about as a whole, you should always diversify, right? It doesn't matter. And 1,000% believe that. Is there a percentage that says, okay, at this age, you need to try to do this percentage and have it in a product like what you're talking about?
I mean, that's a great question. And I have a percentage that I personally use. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's like a buy the book percentage. So like my youngest client is 28. Okay. He basically had just an old 401k from a job. And I'm like, do you ever need this money? He goes, no. I'm like, okay, cool. And like we sat down, we dived through everything. And I'm like, okay, boom, 100% of it's going into this product. He goes, cool. I want to have it sit there and I'll forget about it. Right. Now, every case is different. Depending on how young you are, I've literally told somebody, because they just wanted to start it in case they needed the money for the next 5 years, they only started the product with 20% of their 401k.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm okay with whatever, because depending on everybody's situation, like you don't know. And there's some great riders involved with this annuity. So like if you do get chronically ill or you're disabled, all the penalties go away. So you could always get your money that way. But there are other circumstances that you could need the money from and that you'd have to pay the penalties on. Like say, God forbid, like a kid died or you wrecked your car, or, a catastrophic hurricane wiped your house away and you weren't in a flood zone and like you have no place to live and you got to get this money. Like there's always something, life happens. So you have to make sure, and obviously we can't predict that, but we have to be like, okay, do you have money set aside? Are you making enough that God forbid in 2 years that you're going to have money saved up that you're not going to need to tap into this? Because if you are, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So what is the worst? I mean, so there are exceptions, right? So like you're talking about catastrophes or something like that. Mm-hmm. Is there, I know some of the products that you had ran through, like with my mother, for example, she could take out X percentage per year. And that could be valuable to, especially some of the younger persons or people that are out there. That would be lump sums, right? So they put in a lump sum, but they can withdraw without penalties.
Yes. So thank you, Julie. Yes. Fabulous. So this is a great example. My sister-in-law and my brother are two huge advocates for me. My brother is a cash business. He'll accumulate a certain amount every couple of years, and he'll write a check for $25,000 and open up a new annuity. Okay. My sister-in-law, she had a 401k, good amount of money from a previous employer, and you can't borrow from a 401k without having to pay taxes and penalties. Okay. So with my product, after year 1, she could take out penalty-free $4,500.
Nice.
Now, mind you, it's going to go towards your taxes for earned income, but what's, I don't know, 12% of $4,500? Like, on the grand scheme of things, she couldn't touch that money because it was in her 401k, and now she can have it. And I tell her, and you don't have to take it either, because if you leave it in, obviously it's going to accumulate more for you. Yeah. But she's decided to keep it in. But like, what if they want to go on vacation or something? Like they never had their honeymoon. Like what if they wanted to go do that? Now it's boom, it's paid for by the services of me. You know what I mean? So like that's a huge thing. And it's basically building cash value the same way the IUL would.
Yeah.
That's basically what that is. And that's what I tell people. The IUL is and the annuity are basically hand in hand the same thing. There are different perks and different reasons for them. But, one is monthly installments and one is a lump sum. And it's just how quick are you going to build the cash value?
Yeah, to be able to do that.
Correct.
But it's awesome that you can still have access to it, because $4,500, like you said, it could be a treat, it could be a bonus, it could be, hey, I want to invest in something else, and this allows you to do that and still not ruin the long-term picture.
Well, that's what I said. My brother's, he's complaining he's got to buy his stepdaughter a freaking car because she just turned 17. I'm like, well, tell her mother to take the money out of the annuity. She got the cash value and buy her a clunker. Like, I don't know. It's her first car. Who cares?
Yeah. Exactly.
There's so many options for it, and that's what's great about it. Like, I don't know. And so your mother's a good case too. So also, obviously, when you're 59 and a half, when you open up my product, you have access to a minimum distribution every year because you're of age where you can start taking out. So that your mother's a totally different case whatsoever. So basically the way I structured it for everybody else too is when you're at a certain age, you would start thinking about, okay, at what age do I want to actually just start taking out? The annuity is set up. An annuity means basically yearly payments. So you got to start thinking of like, okay, at age 80, my mom wants to take out 5% of her account, but it's making 6, 7, 8%. Then boom, we're still making 3% every year and she's living off that 5. And that's how we're structuring that.
So how does that work? Because this is post-tax, right? So this is taxed money that they're taking, or if they're converting like from a 401k or an IRA or something like that, that's pre-tax, right? Well, 401k is.
So wait, what are you asking me again? So a 401k is pre-tax dollars. An IRA is pre-tax, but you can also do a Roth, which is post-tax.
Right. So do you have to wait till you're 59 and a half in order to take that out? Because it's still earned income even then, right? Subject to income tax?
The only difference is it depends on the product. So like I said, there's 7, 10, or 14-year policies.
Okay.
That's just going to restrict you to, so say you do a 10-year policy and you started at 35. So you're going to be 45. So you're not at the age of retirement. Yes, you can take all that money out at 45 because you're past the 10-year penalty period.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Correct. So you basically just were in an investment for 10 years.
That's a fabulous investment because that's also a guaranteed product.
Correct. But you're going to be paying taxes on it. Don't forget, because you're not of age yet.
Yes.
It's not going to be the 30%, 40% that most 401ks are, but it's going to be a huge chunk of earned income.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's a good question. And I've never actually had anybody ask me that. So that's a good question.
Leave it up to us to think about.
Of course. That's why I love it. That's great.
No, Lambo's kids, for example, are teenagers still, so a little bit older than yours and younger than ours. So how does that work for them if they're like what you were talking about for an investment? You never want to buy, depreciating asset, right? Or a depreciation situation like you were talking about car or something like that. What strategy, like at that age, would be the best for them if they're teenagers to be able to manage and watch for themselves? Because 10 years to them, I mean, if they're 18, by the time that they're 30, they could have something of value. By the time that they're 40,
correct,
something of value. I mean, that's huge. I would love to go back in time and be that younger me to do something.
Yeah. No, so that's a good question too, because at that point you can actually have the conversation of, okay, hey, listen, you need to think about this as it's going to be an investment at this point. And when I say investment, it's going to be, you need to think about at 30, 35, 40, it's not just going to be you anymore. Okay. You're going to have a wife, you're going to have kids probably, and you need to think about now you've already had a life insurance policy accumulating cash value for you that your mother and I or whatever decided to get at 13, 14, when you were 13, 14 years old. Okay. Now you need to start thinking about, you can use some of that money and borrow from your account, and you guys need a house, or you're having a kid and you need to add an addition to the house, whatever, you have it available to you. It's not about like, oh, at 18, I have $5,000 cash value. No, that's dumb. Leave it in there. Don't touch it.
Right.
It's an investment, and it's a life insurance policy. Also, too, like you're going to get an initial, my wife's sneaking downstairs to do her nails. I love her. It's an initial death benefit, but it's also the death benefit is going to accumulate as well because your money's being invested. It never ends. So like my initial death benefit for my kids is $150,000, By my kid's 60, by the time my daughter's 60 years old, it's projected her death benefit is $1 million.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
So how does it raise? Like, what does it go against to raise? Is it against the stocks? Is it?
It's indexed just like the annuity. Your money is in the market indexed. It's not in the market per se.
Okay.
But
So they're leveraging it.
They're leveraging. They're doing. Yes, they're doing. Buy sells. They're investing in high yield bonds.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay. And they're getting a much higher percentage rate than we as normal humans get because we can't invest $20 million, $10 million at a time.
They have a much bigger pool. Yeah. Much bigger.
Oh, yeah. But yes. So to answer your question, yes. So they are making money hand over fist on our money, but we're also making money. And it's a smart way and a safe way to do it because all these banks, these banks that are FDIC insured even, God forbid something happens. Yes, you'll get your money back. But these annuity companies, I only use, even the insurance companies I use, and I've talked to you, I think I've talked to you about them. I only use A-rated companies. Mm-hmm. And A-rated companies aren't just the only thing is they have to have liquidity. Meaning, what are they invested in? If everybody who had an account with them were to cash out tomorrow, could they pay it out? And the answer is no. No company can. But in what percentage can they pay out? If it's under 50%, they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a numbers game. Now, they're not regulated to have more than 50%? No. Really? That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because what they're doing is they're playing the market and they're playing the risk game as well. They're hoping their investments are going to make money hand over fist. They don't have to worry about everybody cashing out at one time.
Right.
And then what did I tell you too? That I have to show every client worst case scenario, your money basically doing nothing every year. Okay. Yep. But I also said, if your money does nothing for 10 years straight, we're in the worst recession we've ever seen. We are going to be eating cats and dogs off the streets. So it is what it is. So you have to trust the process because they say we're in the worst recession we've ever been in now. I mean, I find that hard to believe when you look back in the early 1900s and people were literally living in the streets. Like, I don't know. I just know times were different back then, but it's all about perspective.
Well, it is. And insurance is a gamble, just like anything else. I don't care if it's Forex market, stock market, you're betting on information based on the numbers and the data, crunching it all together and having it spit out. So it's, I thought that they had to have a higher liquidity based on that. Mm-mm. That's no different than some of the stuff that you even hear individuals tossing around, on the internet. Obviously, liquidity pool is a big one. I would say the difference is they do have to have a certain proportion, and it has to be, there are some rules.
So like these A-rated companies are A-rated for a reason. They're audited several times a year. There are a couple annuity companies that I'm not even contracted with that have just gotten caught trading junk bonds. Oof. Meaning there's no value to them at all. It's literally it's borderline illegal, and nobody's going to get arrested, but they should. And it is what it is, and that's the game we play. But that's why I don't use those companies. And any agent like myself who uses those companies is just they're no good at their job, and they're in it for a commission, and they don't care about their clients. And that's my thing is I do care about my clients too much, right? Because I won't sell. I literally turn somebody away because they're not understanding.
So I heard a long time ago that the biggest wealth transfer that a lot of your, Rockefellers and things like that is through life insurance. When they're passing down generational wealth, they do it mostly through insurance policies, whether it's whole life or combination, right? Diversifying it. Is that something that can help the average person like us be able to say, hey, I want to leave this place better for the next generation. And this is the strategy or one of the good strategies to be able to do that.
Absolutely. So I almost had a client, his wife passed away and she had a life insurance policy and he got cut a nice check. And I said, you have 90 days to decide if you want to cash this check and pay capital gains taxes on it, or if you want to take this check and put it into an annuity and take monthly installments, and literally he would never have to pay, because so when you open up an annuity, you only pay taxes when you go past your initial investment. So it was $250,000 policy. So until he took out $250,000, he didn't have to pay any taxes on that.
Wow.
That's amazing. I never heard about that.
Because it was a death benefit.
Okay.
So any earned interest he made, he would have to pay taxes on that. But so if he put it right in the annuity, he wouldn't have to pay taxes up front at all. So say, God forbid, in a year now he died and his beneficiary was, say, his son or his daughter. Now they just got that money and they weren't a beneficiary from their mother or their grandmother or whoever. And now you just transferred wealth and no taxes were paid. As opposed to, you know, my dad quick claim deeding me the house and I got to pay capital gains tax on it.
Yeah.
Like that's not fun.
No.
That's amazing. That's really smart. I hadn't heard it.
But then we can get into, we talked about trust and everything too, Julie. Like, you know, the irrevocable trust is a great way to go. The revocable trust, meaning you can reopen the product, is good if you have in my opinion, a lot of beneficiaries, like you said, your mother did.
Mm-hmm.
But the irrevocable trust is a great way to solidify something and, you know, make sure nobody's taking it in and out. So
is a trust ever the beneficiary of a whole life insurance policy or a life insurance policy, no matter if it's whole life or?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can have, so a trust is basically a bank account with people's names attached to it. Okay, so when you open up a policy, whether it be life or an insurance product or an annuity product, you can list, say, Julie and JJ's trust, you guys. So JJ's trust is the beneficiary. Okay, cool. So now you guys pass away, that money goes into that trust, which is basically a bank account. And then the bank's going to say, okay, well, who is the owners or beneficiaries of this trust? Okay, it's their kids. Okay, so awesome. So now the paperwork's going to go out if it's, you know, you have, how many kids you have? 4?
4.
I got it right. See? So now they're all going to get a piece of paper saying, okay, now this money is in your trust and it has the 4 of you in it. Okay, so that's basically all that is. A trust is just basically a legal document of names in a bank account.
Right. The tools to be able to do whatever that you set it up to do and accomplish, it does it. Without
this was a good story. So my uncle passed away. He had 4 kids too. His oldest was 21. She got a portion of her money. The second was 18. He got his money up front. The other 2 were younger than 18. So by the time they were 18, their money was more than their older siblings already had because it was in the trust accumulating money still. And the youngest was only 4. Wow. So by the time he got his money, he almost got the whole amount that the whole policy was worth in the first place.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. So these trusts are great, but they have to be set up properly.
Yeah.
And they had to, I do suggest you most cases you have to use an attorney depending on what state, but I suggest you use an attorney to set one up.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes. Just a little bit. We've scratched the surface.
Especially in your case, you have a lot of names involved. So yes, you want to make sure it's correct.
Absolutely. Ken, I love the insurance stuff. I think it's an awesome tool to help people no matter what age they are. And that's the beautiful thing for it. Way more than the traditional stuff that they do talk about, because those you don't earn nearly as much as what you can with how you're talking about using and leveraging that insurance. So love it. Love it.
I agree. I love it. Lambo, you still there, boss?
You already
there
know I'm still here, man. I just love J-Dog and J50, man. You know, it's just.
Are you off watching football? Is that why you were so quiet?
No, I just sit down and I really watch them, man. I don't go nowhere. Don't do anything. Just sit down and watch them, man. I love these one-on-ones, man. That's what it's about, you know, the education, the experience, and being able to answer questions that people really need on here. You know, there was a shout out to Blue Sky. I see you in the building, and Steve Woods. I see you in the building. Shout out to your stats. Speaking of that, are you familiar with the rollover policies when you're rolling over from the IRAs from the actual companies to an IRAs without getting a penalty attached to it?
Yes. So that's a good question. Yes. Fabulous. So if I get you as a client and you have a 401k or an IRA, there are 0 fees, 0 penalties, 0 tax ramifications for you to roll it into my product. It is not a taxable event at all. I had a client, oh, my uncle said I'm going to pay tax. No, you're not. Stop. No, you're not. I promise you. I do this all day, every day. There are no tax ramifications at all because it's a qualified exchange from one qualified account to another. There's nothing you got to pay.
Nice.
Nothing got to pay. Free of charge.
And this is something too, and depending on how much you love me or how much you hate me, I don't touch your money.
Now, hold on, man. You got to make something out of it, man.
No, but I don't like you. You're not going to, your bank's not, your 401k company's not going to send me a check and then I send it to them. Nothing goes to me. I don't touch any of it. I set up the transaction. That's it.
Okay.
A lot of people are weird with that. Like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Ken. How are you? Nice to meet you. So,
no, I mean, and that's something that people need to understand.
yeah,
Is there a way that if someone doesn't like the way their 401 plan is going, they can roll it over to what you're doing to make definitely a guarantee?
Yes. So, yeah, that's a great question. There's one stipulation to that, which I forgot to leave out. If you're still working for that employer that has your 401k, I can't take it because that money is technically not yours until you leave the company.
Yeah.
There's a little food for thought. That's why when you take a loan out of your 401k, they charge you so much because you're taking money from the company at that point.
Yeah.
It's not your money until you leave or get fired. A lot of people don't know that.
So is there a way, Ken, that someone could leave and then roll it over and come back to the company? I'm just saying,
I mean, if you wanted to go through all that trouble, yes, I guess. That's extra work. So here's a fun little tidbit. So the 401k, do you know why it was invented?
Talk to me. Enlighten me. Why was
it was for big companies to defer paying taxes. It's a tax break for big companies. Okay. It was supposed to be designed so that your money is going to be, when you retire, taxed at a lower rate than what you're earning it at now. But that's not how our stupid fun economy works, is the tax rate keeps going up. The tax rate was supposed to go down, which is why they designed a 401k, which is why most companies don't even offer 401ks anymore, because the tax rate goes up. So why would you invest money now and take money that you've been taxed on at a lower rate to be taxed on it again at a higher rate later? Does that make any sense? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
The only thing I suggest to people, and I have one as well, just to show you, I have an annuity as well, and I also have this product, is if you have extra money or if you have the opportunity at your work and you have a 401k, see if they have the Roth option. Okay? The Roth IRA is literally the cheat code for life. Okay? Because the Roth IRA is now using, so when you get a paycheck, say you make $2,000 a week, they tax that, you have $1,100 net. Okay? They're going to take money from that $1,100 now and put that into your Roth because it was already taxed. So now if you continue to have your Roth accumulate and you have $1 million at retirement, you are never going to pay $1 in taxes in your retirement.
Right.
Because you're using already taxed money and you made interest on already taxed money. They can't tax it.
Facts. So go ahead, Julie, because I already know.
I got a question.
Her wheel's spinning. She's like, no.
Big time. So if like some of the younger generations, right, they're moving job to job to job.
Yes.
Let's just say that they forgot that they had a 401k at a job or something like that. Is there somewhere that they can go and check, or do they have to go back to the employee?
I swear to God, this is not scripted. You are fabulous. Yes, there is a website.
Julie, come on.
There is a website that I will send you to. You literally just punch in your social, your date of birth. You pay $19, and it will find any old 401ks, IRAs, everything. And that's what I do is I will take them all, scrunch them all into one big ball, and put them into a product for you.
Yeah.
Awesome question, Julie. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. So I do have one other one. So we've got, when you were talking about with switching that over, if you have an existing 401k or Roth or whatever kind of product, what isn't applicable without having a taxable event? So you mentioned the two, 401k and Roth, you can, because if you switch it to your annuity product, there's no penalties or taxable event. Is there something that is similar to those, because they took over what used to be pensions, right? Because they were told that pensions were going out, companies wanted to do it, and this was their product that they put in place, which is really a horrible product, but still, it's there. Is there something that they're using? Because there's limits, right? Roth is a limit that you can put into.
7,500 a year, 8,500 if what's the other? It's 7,500 a year you can invest into the Roth. Yeah.
Mhm.
That to be able to do that without additional, it's not penalties, but then there's limits, right? That they
Correct.
Okay. Is there a product out there that can't be converted without having a taxable event?
Deferred compensation, right?
So what do you, I guess I'm not really understanding what you're asking me though.
So there's a lot of commission people, whether it's real estate commission, where they get lump sums. That does incur a taxable event in a sense if they were rolling that over, right? Because they're getting taxes taken out because they're self-employed. So if you're raking in doing real estate, for example,
Real estate's a good example.
yeah, because Lambo's had some really big hitters on real estate doing that. So if they're getting these lump sums from those real estate deals, whether it's flipping, whether it's doing new, whatever that is,
okay,
they put that in there.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so yes, so sort of like what my brother did. So yes, so obviously a realtor makes a $40,000 commission. Come tax time, they pay earned income taxes on that 40 grand. Okay, you're saying if they want to invest some of that with me, are there penalties?
Correct.
No.
The whole 40.
No. So they would, there's two types of annuities that I sell. It's a qualified annuity, which is a rollover event of a 401k or an IRA. There's also a non-qualified exchange, basically meaning it's post-tax dollars. That money's already been taxed. So that money grows at a better rate. And also there are better tax ramifications, basically. So you'd pay less in taxes because you're putting post-tax dollars in.
Okay. But why does it grow at a better rate?
Because it's already been taxed.
Okay. So
you get a better rate. You just get a better rate. That's just how the companies give it to you because there's less legal nonsense they have to deal with. That's above my pay grade with these companies. I had to fight with a company this morning just about I can't even, I don't think I can't say that on the thing, but it's just, there's things that it's a lot.
All right. I never realized why the difference between qualified and versus.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you think of qualified versus non-qualified as an IRA and a Roth IRA. One grows at a different tax rate because it's already taxed, and the other one is not taxed, so it's a different rate.
Okay.
It's very similar to that. Actually, that's a good, fabulous questions. Lambo, did you set this up before?
I didn't set that up, but I knew I had some fire. When you say Lambo, let them talk, I say less. I got Julie Jeremiah. Sit right there, Ken. Sit right there.
Fabulous. I love it. I got a question for you, man. Between you and I feel like the world would never go silent, but how long do these usually last?
So believe it or not, it lasts till you get tired, man. You know?
My wife's over there like, you.
we have been on here 4 or 5 hours. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of useless information, but damn, that's a long time.
Yeah. But see, with Julie and Jeremiah, they're gonna keep you probably about another 5 minutes. I tell you. I know how they rock. They like, Lambo is 90 minutes. Okay.
Well, we were talking about Julie, and Julie's one of those people. It's funny because our rapport is like I've known you guys for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know Julie and Jeremiah past our phone conversations, which I just met them, 2 months ago, a month ago?
Yep.
But that's what I do is because I'll text you and I probably even said, hey, if I'm bothering you, tell me to stop. But that's what I do because you're busy, I'm busy. And if I don't get you at the right time, I might not get you.
Yeah. That was our oldest son with the fire emojis there.
That was him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's him?
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to you, Brandon. I see you in the building, man. You get the Lambo welcome, man.
Well, that's my thing and I've literally had a client, they go, you are the most persistent person I've ever met. And I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? She goes, well, you got me as a client, so I guess it's a good thing. I'm like, well, I want to know. It's either a yes or a no. If you're a maybe, why are you a maybe? Let's talk. So either way, I need to talk to you, right?
Indecision is the worst decision because it is indecision.
You put it off. You want to do it. You put it off. Something happens. You forget about it. And then a year later, you're like, oh, I wish I would have did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't help you. I mean, I can still help you, but it's not, you lost a year. So that's why I'm there. I got to push, man.
Yeah.
And if you tell me no, it's no. That's it. That's it. You know, I'm not going to beg you. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, but you'd have my number. I'm right here.
But it's such good information to have so that you can act on it. And that's the, knowledge is power, but it doesn't actually become powerful until you do something about it and put it into action. I
got your son as a client. I see it.
You see it on the screen. Let me put it on there for y'all.
There you go. He's
Brandon,
got two. They have two children. So
Brandon, tell your mom to give me your number, man. No, I love that. No, listen, and that's my huge thing. Listen, Julie, you're technically not even a client yet, but I will always treat you guys as one, and I hopefully soon you will be. But like, that's
our mother and father-in-law. My mother and father-in-law have got to do this.
They won't listen to anything.
We'll see. That's a whole nother. Maybe you should send them this video.
There you go.
We're gonna fly you out there to go see.
Yeah, oh boy.
We're gonna fly you out there and you go sit down with them.
I'm a lot. I don't know if they'd be able to deal with that. That's a lot.
No. They're wonderful people. Wonderful people. Oh my gosh.
But I'm like a ball, and me and Lambo, man, we go in there, they'd be like, oh my God, get these guys out of this room.
Hey, it's already, man. I'm like Muhammad Ali fighting George Foreman. You know?
I love it. My wife needs to take a break when I'm here half the time. She's like, you're a lot. Can you go smoke a cigar at the cigar shop? Leave me alone. Love you too, babe.
My mother adores Lambo and Mrs. Lambo because they're just the best. So she loves having them.
No, I love it. And listen, what is life about? This is something they don't teach you either. Life is about relationships.
Yeah, it is.
Whether they're in your life for a minute, a year, 10 years, or forever, that 1 minute might have molded you or made you think about something differently because you just met that person. You know what I mean? Like this is, I've been writing like a eulogy just because I'm weird like that. Just God forbid when my father passed away, I want everybody to know and understand who he was. I worked with my dad for years. I want people to get it. But like I started off with like, you have met 1 million people in your lifetime. And every single one of them perceives you differently than the next one because of how you were at that moment they met you and what you were going through in your life. So like how you influence somebody, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like there are people who met me when I was going through my divorce and I wanted to kill everybody I saw. And they probably think I'm an ass. Like, but then there are people who are like, yo, Ken is the best. We love that guy.
Yeah.
But like, why did the one person get the bad version of me and the other one got the good version of me? You know what I mean?
Realistic and team optimistic.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's all about perception and relationships.
Yeah.
Because without these relationships, like I'm having a blast. This is great. Like listen, Lambo, this was my thing. I said this to you before we started. If I get no clients out of this, I had a blast.
Yeah.
So you really think you're gonna walk away with no clients after being on this show?
I don't know, man. It is what it is. I had a good time.
Ken, stop it. I don't want to hear it, man.
Lambo always says your network is your net worth. And that is the truth.
That might be a tattoo or something for me. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love that, dude. That's actually nice. I'm gonna put that on my Facebook page, I think.
It's going right here, man. Next to me and J-Dog and our pinky promise.
That's right.
We got a pinky tattoo right here, me and J-Dog in Florida.
Oh, I love it. You know what we did? My wife and I, we wrote out in our handwriting the words "I love you" to each other, and we're gonna get those tattooed on each other.
Oh,
Aww.
Isn't that cute? See? When you get a girl that goes, "Aw," it's good.
It's good. It's good. Especially when it's your wife.
Yeah.
If it's a girlfriend, I tell you, keep your receipt.
Well, it's better than putting her name on there. You know what I mean? That never works out.
It is an invisible ink if it's the girlfriend.
Exactly.
It's
We're
the
gonna have to
girlfriend.
we get the black light out for that one.
We gotta love this, man. We love these shows, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Yeah,
Literally.
let us jump on your show.
You
Yes,
think I
thank
was
you,
giving
Julie and Jeremiah.
Yeah, you was on here. I knew J50 and J Dog was gonna jump on here.
I love it. I love this. This is. I told you, man. Listen, what do you do these shows every week?
Every Tuesday and Thursday night, man, 8 p.m. Eastern.
I think we need to do this every month for me. This is great.
No, I'm serious. I think the education is so right, and people need to hear that.
So here's my problem, and it's a good problem to have, is I do a lot of research. And like even if we did this once a month, the extra knowledge that I would gain would be another whole hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it's a lot because, like, do I need that? No. But do I want that? Yes. Because what that does is it helps you make the better decision for you.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want is a bad review or somebody to be mad at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I'm screwed. My whole company is basically down, and I work for myself.
Yeah.
And money is sometimes the hardest thing to talk about, but the more knowledge they have about it, the more powerful they can be with the decisions that they make.
That's every Tuesday and Thursday. He's teaching people, how to do things better and make a life for themselves.
If they ever change the school systems and put in financial literacy, just even a 10th of what it would be, because economics class back in the day wasn't even good. Okay. I can know how to balance a checkbook. I can do some simple math, but come on.
We didn't do that in high school. Did you do that, Lambo, in high school?
I did a balance of the checkbook. I did. Honestly, I did.
I don't think I did that.
I came up in New Orleans. That's probably about all they had was a checkbook.
Write you a check.
We was already, I write you a check. I don't know if it's going to cash, though.
Listen, you are 100% correct. And the truth of the matter is they do not want us to be financially savvy when we are older. They want us to be servants of the system.
Yep.
And for us to be, unfortunately, they want us to live in paycheck to paycheck. Why did they make life so unaffordable that there has to be a dual income household?
Right.
Yeah.
It used to be, unfortunately, it used to be just the man would go to work and he would provide for the whole house and college tuition was paid for.
Yeah.
Now you got two people working and college tuition. Ha ha.
And then they wonder why
groceries.
They wonder why marriages are failing because
exactly. And then the divorce rate's over 70%, I feel like, because it's just too much. It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but that's what they want. They want everybody to be struggling.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately what we got. And the only way to come out of this is to educate as many people as we can in ways that we know how. And that's what I said. If one person from your show today, besides Julie and Jeremiah, learned something and they used it to their advantage, it was a win, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what we're here for. Or maybe, would you post these to YouTube afterwards or no?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, come on now. These are on YouTube and they go out, man. They Facebook, everything.
No, in 3 years, there's a kid who's 18 now, and in 3 years, he's like, let me look up something, and he just types in something, and you pop up, and he watches this video, and he learns something, and we affected and changed that kid's life in a positive way in 3 years from now. I'm like, that's awesome.
Kid, I'm gonna say this to you. Do you know how many people they sat back and they binge watch the Leverage Show, and they binge watch old episodes? They'll sit in a weekend and just binge watch. I sit back and watch old episodes and go back through. Literally, that's just studying my craft, man, but also hearing and seeing all of this other information. So, Ken, they do it all the time. Like, literally, I get texts every week. Yo, Lambo, I just went back and watched these old episodes. Thank you for this, Lambo.
See, that's awesome, man. That's my point, man. Like, Julie nailed it. It's like we've learned more living our lives as adults than we ever did in any amount of school we've ever been in. And why? It's because it's the education. Huh?
They put you in a box. That's what the education system is. It's a box.
There was a video, I forget who it's, I don't know. It might have been, I don't know who it was, but he literally said the school system is designed to enslave humanity.
The Rockefellers.
Yeah, because they are literally teaching you what they want to teach you. And
Yeah.
if it's going to set you back, like why is the education system getting worse?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's curated and designed for the powerful to stay there and nobody else to come up and learn the ways.
Yeah.
Bingo. Facts. Exactly. Here's a totally unrelated topic, but I thought the statistic was alarming, quite alarming. Okay. Did you know from 1950 to now, 2024, do you know the percentage of cancer patients that survive more now than they did in 1950? What would you think that number would be? So if you got cancer in 1950 versus today, how much of a better percentage do you have of surviving today than you did in 1950?
At least 40%. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I would say 40, 50%.
Guess what the number is?
Talk to me.
20.
5%.
Do you know why?
Money.
Because it's about this.
Money.
The medicine. But hold on. Out of all of this stuff,
Your
you
body.
tell me it's 5%. Ken.
Dude, look up what when you think of breast cancer awareness, what do you think of, Lambo?
Oh, women. And
Susan G. Komen, the
Yeah.
cure, the pink bow.
Yeah.
It's literally 90% of the money people donate goes into somebody's pocket.
Yeah.
There's no cancer research, and guess what? If there is, and they ever find a cure, which we already have, it's swept away. You know what, dude? The doctor is designed to keep you sick. You stop going to the doctor goes bankrupt. Well, who wins?
Yeah.
The doctor don't win.
Yep.
Let me give you some pills that's going to cure this ailment, but going to give you another one in 10 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep.
With all the money we have and resources we have, we have these little things in our hand. And there's my kids, by the way. They used to be sitting on a table you had to pick up the phone. I remember you had the rotary dial, and we can have this, but we still can't kill little cancer cells inside of our bodies. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get out of here.
Yep.
We make
It's aggravating.
we make antidotes for COVID in what a year?
Yeah.
Less than a year.
I said it to the wife yesterday. I said we got a vaccine for COVID in less than a month, and we still can't cure cancer. Get out of here.
Yeah.
That wasn't a new vaccine. It was one that they repurposed and knew that it worked for that. And then there's still side effects to it too.
Like I told my kids, my son, he's almost 8. He's battling freaking anxiety already because he worries about everything. And I said, Nolan, you're 8 years old. You don't know what worrying is yet.
Yeah.
I said, dude, if you're struggling now, and I literally said to him, I'm like, dude, you got to talk to me, and I will tell you there is no problem or issue that you have that we cannot resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 years old. I wish I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, maybe like 20, but like
It wants to be legal for a lot of things.
exactly. But like, dude, you're fine.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. And to your point, Ken, speaking on that, pre-existing conditions, is there anything out there for pre-existing conditions? Someone actually has that, and they can actually jump into something that definitely takes care of it. So
that's actually a question that doesn't get asked enough. So for the annuity, there is nothing, no disease, ailment, condition, nothing that would prohibit you from opening one because it's your money.
Yeah.
The only thing is you would not be eligible for some of the riders. Like obviously if you are terminally ill, they're not going to give you a terminally ill rider because you're terminally ill. So, but I mean, for life insurance, there are a couple of big ones that they won't even insure you. You're basically uninsurable at that point. But then there's other things, like diabetes. I believe type 2 would raise your rates almost 50%. So say you're paying $50 a month, you get, the rate for your age and male or female is $50 a month, and they see you have type 2 diabetes, they're probably going to double that rate.
Wow.
And it is what it is. And it's the system as a whole, and it's one of those things is like, it's a curable disease to a point. And when you get to type 2, I believe it's always going to be there, but it's manageable.
Yeah.
So that's what they look at. And if you're always going to have something, then you're a higher risk. It's what's that? Actuaries? Is that the job where they study risk and if it's worth it? The actuaries will always have a job because insurance companies are always here.
Wow.
They weigh risk versus reward.
What about smokers, man? I got my good buddy Randy, and I really want to go ahead and make sure Randy's good. He's covered. He's. I don't know, Ken. Is he gonna make it really good, man? I want to know something's out there for him.
So I gotta ask you a question. What's he smoking?
Randy smokes a little bit of everything. Randy's smoking the left-handed cigarettes as well as over-counter cigarettes.
Okay, so smokers are in that bracket of they're going to get hammered with rates, and it even goes so much as far as they ask you if you smoke cigars and how regularly. The new thing is it's like a tier. Cigarettes are high. And then cigars, they actually have moved vaping up above cigars. If you vape, you're a higher risk than smoking cigars now. And in my opinion, they're worse than cigarettes because you're literally just smoking straight chemicals. There's no tobacco in there or nothing. Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
You were talking about medical conditions. So I have high cholesterol. And my doctor was saying, you don't need to take anything for that. He says it's nothing bad. It's just something that the medical community is trying to tell you need to get on this prescription.
Dude, your doctor's fabulous.
So I don't take anything for it, and he monitors it and everything. But he says you're forced to paying a higher rate because that's what they're saying cholesterol's bad.
I mean, honestly, they don't really ding you. So just so you know, here's a good comparison for you. Ready? So ladies, eat your heart out. So if you're 30, say you're 30 years old, male, female, you're perfectly healthy, okay? The female will always pay a smaller rate because they're females. They have a longer life expectancy.
Shout out to the ladies.
That's what I'm saying. So ladies, you will always get a better rate. But so as far as high cholesterol goes, that's not one of the bigger ones. And in my opinion, with the research I do here with the missus, is cholesterol is a good thing. The brain and the cranial in like the skull in your head is protected by cholesterol. So when they say you have low cholesterol, it's actually they're finding is that's literally what Alzheimer's is. Correct. So my Julie's face sums it up. Is like I had that same face when my wife was like, I'm like, no way. And she showed me, I'm like, oh, I think you're right. And it's crazy because they literally don't label it as that. They call it Alzheimer's, but it's a different form of. So when they say you have high cholesterol, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm sure it can get out of hand, but I think it makes you smart. It means you're safer, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, whatever. The body's is weird. And
protect it. That's a good thing.
Exactly. I mean, look, he looks fine. What's wrong with him? It's all about how you feel. And this is something that I tell people too. And I tell my son, I tell my wife all the time, you create your own ailments. If you think you're going to get sick, and if you're afraid, say you're in your car and you're like, I'm going to get these people are going to make me get in an accident. And you say that every time you get in a car, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get in an accident.
Yeah.
And it's not those people, it's you. You gave it energy. You know what I mean? Like people you will stuff into existence, whether it be bad or be good. You tell yourself every day, I'm going to wake up and make a crap ton of money, and I'm going to rock this, and I'm going to help people, and I'm going to be positive every day. Guess what's going to happen? It'll be great.
Yep.
You wake up and you're like, ugh, my life sucks. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to work. I'm tired. Guess what? Your life sucks.
Yep. It's true.
Those are definite facts.
Sorry. Only you. I when and you know she can yell at me later, but I tell her when she wakes up grumpy, you know what I say to her? I said, "Hon, only you can prevent forest fires." And she looks at me and like she wants to punch me.
This is recorded. She can go back and listen.
But like it's the truth, and she knows what I mean by when I say that. It's the attitude that goes with that she knows if you tell yourself you go in the woods with a cigarette, you're going to make a fire if you don't put it out, but only you can prevent it. So you got to watch your attitude. I'm glad I got you all cracking up. This is why I'm here.
Yeah, you've been killing this thing. You've been great tonight, man. We appreciate you for everything, dude.
Yeah,
really.
I had fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Listen, Ken, how can everybody reach out to you, man, to learn more? Because Julie and Jeremiah, they reached out and they definitely have talked with you a lot. So they're firsthand wonderful customers and clients on here, man, that we can definitely go ahead and help so many other people out here, Ken.
Yeah, I'm excited. You guys are awesome. So I can
send me a message in the private chat, and then I'll post it for you if you need to.
Okay, let's do that. So I'll do my phone number. So don't judge me. I have my old phone number from Philly, but I am in Florida. So anybody in Florida who wants to reach out, I like cigars and coffee. So let me know.
We love to go to Florida, especially Miami, Ken.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the other coast, but that's okay.
You towards Tampa side, man.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
Fort Myers.
Nope, Tampa, I'm in St. Pete. Yep.
I got best friends in St. Pete, so stop it, man.
Dude, you want to know what I just learned the other day? You know, Tampa's not a city.
Huh?
Tampa Bay is not a city. It's a metro area.
Oh, snap.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I lived here for 5 years. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is a city. St. Petersburg, Florida is a city. There's no Tampa, Florida. It's a metropolitan area of Clearwater, St. Pete, and something else. I never knew that.
Really?
Yeah. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not a city. It's a metropolitan area.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm mad at them anyways. They just beat our Detroit Lions.
That was a great game, man.
Man, it was. J-Dog, yeah, your feelings, man.
Yeah. Too many mistakes.
Well, then I don't want to tell you that I'm a Niners fan and we beat you in the playoffs last year anyway. That's fine.
Painful.
You're taking him out at this point, man.
All right. So yeah, reach me anytime on my email, text messages, and I tell people too with time zones because they can be fun. I'm East Coast, but I don't care. My phone's on silent when I go to sleep. So you text me at 3 a.m. I will text you back when I wake up. It's whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that number again is 267-566-0301. Again, 267-566-0301. You guys can reach out to his email at kendemarco215@gmail.com. Again, kendemarco215@gmail.com.
And Ken, can you let everybody know that website so they can look to see if they have some money floating around?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you were supposed to get that surprise, man. I may got a couple of duckies for Randy.
Hang on. Thank you, Julie. This guy, I love this guy. Here. Beautiful. Nail that. This is the website. Lambo's going to put it in the chat right now. This is the website where you can look up if you have any old 401ks or IRAs floating around. It does cost $19 one time. And just so you know, if they don't find anything, which means you don't have anything, they will refund you the $19.
What?
Yeah. Look, everybody's like, free time.
What? What?
That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop. Bell.
Boom.
Oh, my bad. I was slow to that. Lambo Bell, Candy. J50 and J-Dog got me right. So
if you go to meetbeagle.com, let me know because I love that website. I feel like it is an underutilized tool to actually help somebody. But they have a lot of questions where they will send you to a financial professional. Just skip all that.
No, go to Ken and his email and phone number. There you go.
Me.
Yeah, you got y'all number. Y'all better stop it, man, out here, man.
Correct.
Meetbeagle.com. I like that. That's different.
There's a little doggy. I don't know what the dog has to do with 401ks, but whatever.
Yeah.
Dog years of life? I got nothing.
Nah, that little dog's in Springfield, Ohio, you know.
Now we can't send it to his mom.
Yeah.
Thank you. You ruined it. Good job.
Oh, meetbeagle.com, y'all. Y'all get out there, man, and definitely see if y'all got some money, man, out here. Man, we appreciate you, Ken. You have rocked out tonight. Julie Jeremiah, how did Ken do, man? Tell me.
He did awesome.
Amazing.
He did awesome. So
I was a little nervous in the beginning, but now I feel like I can do this all the time.
What are you talking about? Come
no,
on,
you can't be nervous on Lambo's show, right?
Come on, man. I make everybody feel comfortable. Even Toots is down there with the remote, like, go ahead, Lambo. Go ahead. We love Mama. My wifey, yes, we do. We love Mama, man. Mama's amazing, man. Shout out to Toots, man. She's doing her thing. And we just love you, brother. I mean, you have just opened the playbook to so many people, man, who are out here and definitely needed to hear this and gave a different perspective of what people actually are looking at when it comes down to insurance and what to actually invest in to definitely take them long term. We thank you for that. A lot of questions answered tonight.
Yeah, of course. And I just want to reiterate, if you guys, even if, you have any questions about anything, if you just want to reach out to just have my number, I have no issues with you ever texting me, even if you're never my client, about like, hey, I have a question about my 401k. Whatever. I don't care.
What? You would answer questions like that without even...
Yeah, what did I tell you? My smallest client got me my biggest referral. If I answer your questions, maybe one day you're like, let me think about that guy, because now you always have my number.
Yeah.
Right?
Y'all put it in your head, 267-566. 0301, 0301, 0301. You see how they kept going?
I like that.
Man, definitely please get with him, man. Please. It's been our esteemed honor to have our good friend, man, Ken Demarco on here with J-Dog and J50. Because shout out to you because they rocked out too.
Yes, they did. Right. Thank you, guys.
On the Leverage Show. We thank you guys for all your questions. Patricia Humphreys, man, appreciate you. Ken Haney, everybody in the chats, we really thank you guys. And definitely, man, look forward for you guys on the next show. Ken Demarco, we thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Take care, guys.
Dog. We're out of here the next time, man. Take care, you guys. God bless. Have an amazing weekend. Reach out to my guy, Ken Demarco. Telling you, you won't regret it.